his birthday, and it's going to be called Remembering Elvis with Joe. And
You gonna do that live or?
we're going to do it live. Yes.
Yeah, will you have a cup of tea? We have 3 different teapots there with the 3 different kinds. This is tea from Wuyi Mountain in China. That's the #1 British tea, and over there we have
That's the jasmine, please.
jasmine tea in the.
I think
in
I'm
the
going
glass
to drain
pot.
the jasmine if I can get someone to pass it this way.
Do
These
you,
have normal caffeine levels.
I was
right?
gonna
And
say-
it doesn't.
No, they all have.
They all have.
Oh, they all have caffeine today? Okay.
No, jasmine doesn't actually.
Well, it's got green tea in there too.
It's mildly.
It's mild.
Not a lot of caffeine.
caffeinated.
Okay.
There's not a lot of caffeine in here. It's really okay.
Okay, I'll try a little bit of that.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And I recommend a little bit of sweetener if it's a sugar cube or a artificial, whatever you say. But it makes it particularly sweet, being that it's jasmine flower to begin with. Well, anyway, did you come to? Were you going to sing us a song?
Well, I mean, I guess I could do.
Really?
Kind of.
Any music?
Now let me have a. No, you it
don't
would have
do
to,
a cappella?
It would have to
Of
be.
course.
It would have to be a cappella.
Of course.
Yep.
Oh, he's got some nice bop going in the background there. I want to
I'll.
adapt an Elvis song to that.
But that's gone now.
Right here.
Yeah. You don't need to get closer.
How about right here?
You're good. You're
Okay.
good. What kind of song can you
I'll
sing?
do "Love Me Tender."
Okay, what was Elvis Presley's
Is that the sugar cube?
#1 selling song? Do you know?
Yeah, it was just
I like that trilogy. That he
trilogy. I do that one. Their #1 selling song, I believe, was his early years in the '50s. The last #1
That's
hit.
all right.
Well, the last hit was "Burnin' Love" in '72. Then he had "Moody Blue," but he died, and that became a hit. But it wasn't.
I believe his #1 selling hit was the first thing he recorded when he got out of the service. Was the biggest seller he ever did. But go ahead.
When he got out of the service, he did movies, and
Yeah.
it's probably one of the movies. I Can Help Falling in Love with You. That was probably one of his. The Blue Hawaii was one of his biggest grossing movies.
But go ahead and do what you were going to do.
Okay, ready? Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. You have made my dreams come true, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me dear, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. You know, honey, you can love me tender, and you can love me long. You lied when you said you loved me. And I had no cause to go live without you, and the stage is bare, honey, and I'm standing there with emptiness all around me. And if you come back to me, well, they can certainly bring the curtain down. That's from Are You Lonesome Tonight? That's it.
I think the #1 selling song was "Are You Lonesome Tonight."
Right?
That's
I
what
never heard that. That was an old song recorded by somebody else in the 40s or 30s or whatever, and then Elvis brought it back. But that had to be in the 60s. Are You Lonesome Tonight? I think he recorded it somewhere in the early 60s. But his last hit was "Burnin' Love," and then it was obviously "Suspicious Minds" was his first #1 hit coming out of the movies. That was when he came comeback. "Suspicious Minds." Then Mac Davis wrote a song, "Don't Cry Daddy," and stuff like that. And then he just went on to "Burnin' Love" was actually #2, not #1. Went to #2.
You know what my favorite is? I have a favorite. Does everybody have a favorite Elvis song, or do some people just hate Elvis? You don't have a favorite Elvis song.
I don't hate
you have,
Elvis.
And what is your
I
favorite?
love Elvis.
What is your
I
favorite?
love his trilogy.
Okay, that's right. Anybody else have a favorite Elvis song? I bet you have a favorite Elvis song. Do you?
Well, it's hard to pick because I liked all of his music. But,
I like all of his really early stuff.
Okay.
That was not
Yeah.
like produced by the Colonel. I really like his early stuff a lot.
Any of the rest of you got a favorite Elvis song? No, nobody.
I don't know if I should say I have a favorite Elvis song. I mean, Elvis is Elvis. You can't step to Elvis, but
You can't
favorite-
step to Elvis.
you can't step to Elvis. You can't.
All right.
It's quite true. There's only one Elvis.
Okay,
That was
I do.
kinda like
and
when
I,
Sparks
I'm bringing
was
this
on
up because I
American
want to.
Bandstand. Nobody could find what the beat was to dance to.
I'm bringing this up because I wanted to say what my favorite Elvis song was, and it's "Promised Land." You know,
Yeah.
Elvis's
Oh,
version of "Promised Land," which I think is a Chuck Berry song. Did Chuck Berry write "Promised Land"? Who wrote "Promised Land"?
No, I don't think Chuck Berry.
Okay, who wrote that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Left my home in Norfolk, Virginia, California.
Yeah, I love. Do you know that one? Is that one you do or not?
I can do it. I just never
but-
did.
Is that one?
I
you,
try to stick to the songs I do best.
Right,
You know.
you need the music or something.
Yeah,
to
but
pull that one off.
trouble with Elvis impersonators, they stretch out the songs they shouldn't do.
That's a
And that's
fun
where
one.
it screws up.
yeah.
I do the ones I love and I do best, and that's it. I won't try. 'Cause if you don't feel it, it's you're impersonating somebody.
See,
It's not going to come off.
I forget who did that. I forget whose song that was, but Elvis did such a rocking version of it. And if I'm not mistaken, in the movie Men in Black, when the guy is getting ready to push the red button in the car, when he keeps saying, "Don't push the red button, don't push the red button," and then he goes, "I'm going to push the red button," and just before he pushes the red button, he pulls out, I think, a black 8-track cartridge, slams it in, and I believe it's Elvis doing "Promised Land," and then he pushes the red button, and it's because it's got the momentum, the song, and he's just, But I always love that. I love the Elvis version of. That's it.
Well, one that Elvis did when one of the times I saw him perform was "How Great Thou Art."
I do that one.
I think that's a really beautiful, beautiful song.
Oh Lord, my God,
Well, go ahead. You want to do it?
when I want some wonder, consider all the big words I have I made. And it goes, when Christ shall come, we should have. That's the background. And then it goes.
Or do you need background singers?
No, but that's the start of it,
Maybe you could. Can you sing the background? Do you know?
No, I'm not a singer. No.
Moss is a
And
singer.
then it
Catch
goes,
me
then
singing the
sings my
background, I know
song,
that.
my Savior God.
Sing my song, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, oh, how great thou art. And,
Elvis had one or two songs with political significance. Didn't he?
Yeah.
well, in the ghetto.
Yeah, in the
In
ghetto.
the ghetto.
That's the one I
yes.
was trying to think
Anything
of.
in there?
Love that.
I love all of his
didn't
gospel
Lisa
music.
Marie just re-release that as a
In the ghetto, right.
artificial duet?
Right.
Right,
Like
with
Nat
Lisa
King Cole.
Marie.
But it's enjoyable to
That
come
really
in.
took a jump. It's
You
sort
want
of
to do a
like
suicide? Get some of the other one too.
back in the 70s, Mad Magazine had a page saying the thinnest books in history. And I remember one being Making It On Your Own by Nancy Sinatra. Just Lisa Marie pulling something out of her dad's catalog and singing along to it doesn't strike me as good music.
And what is the guy who was the main prosecutor guy? What am I trying to say? The state's attorney, whatever he was, federal.
You're gonna have to give us a kind of something to hang
Yeah,
on.
you're-
Okay, he was.
You're way out there.
You're off on the periphery of it, and we need to hear where you're
I
starting.
Give us
know,
a
I know.
reference point.
I'm just trying to say this guy
Prosecuting attorney in what?
in the federal government.
In the federal
right,
government.
the
Well, that's
guy-
big, John, and
Huh?
it's been around a long time.
All right,
Give us
okay.
a frame
I'm
of
talking.
reference.
Recently, was forced to retire or got rid of him so they could put people in there.
Gonjo or Al
Are you referring to Alberto
Gonzalez?
Gonzalez,
That sounds. What's his name?
Alberto.
the former
Gonzalez.
Attorney General?
Attorney General. That's what I'm trying to say.
Alberto.
Alberto Gonzalez. Like you're talking about thin books. Have you seen the recently published memoirs of Alberto Gonzalez?
Oh, is that where we were going?
That's where I'm trying to go. I just can't
Okay.
remember the name.
Just can't get it out.
What was that?
There's a big horn under the table.
Oh,
This is torture
John's
machine.
blowing his own horn as usual.
But anyway, but I just want to come on for a short time because I got to roll, and I want to say hello to everybody.
We're
And
almost off the air anyhow, so.
where you going to be gigging tonight? Is that
It's Holiday Inn.
Holiday
This is
Inn.
Anderson
Oh, we
Automotive.
7
3
on
hours
Thursdays
tonight.
now.
Alan,
Huh?
did you want to clear
7
some
on
chairs and
Thursdays
take
now.
me home?
What's 7 on Thursdays?
When
you're
I guess
on
I
till.
can.
Yeah, you're on till 7, right?
Right. Oh, I'm on till 7.
I enjoy being here.
But I
though.
wanted to come
Well,
in
I
and
enjoy
break
it
the
too,
party.
All right.
I think
And
we've
I gotta
covered all
roll.
the stuff that we're here to cover.
But we will.
Is the tea dot to your?
No, I like it, but I got to get
We
in the
might
mode.
think
I
of
got to go
something.
back to my room, get all the videos. It takes about an hour.
Oh
and a
yeah.
half.
Yeah. You have to do your.
Oh yeah, do my hair, makeup, everything.
Yeah, get in costume.
I know, I have
Pictures.
more to say. I always say more to Matt.
Don't
Oh,
get
yeah,
your-
I'd love to see
No, I
a
just
picture
can't
with your
think of it at
makeup
the moment.
on.
Oh yeah, they're excellent shots.
I
we can stay
didn't
if you
think to
like.
bring them. I'm sorry.
Don't you get your rhinestones stuck on it, caught on
Probably you're wondering
anything?
where I am since they were supposed
All
to
right.
give me
You ever
a
do
right
that? You ever
meeting.
get a rhinestone hooked on something?
Well, I've had stuff drop off.
Yeah.
It's rough. Thank you. Thank you for
That was
having
a good
me
show
on.
tonight, Joe.
All right.
Hey.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.
Okay.
And you're going to be
I'll
live
see
on
you.
Saturday on
That's
URTV.
it.
What
Right.
time?
5 o'clock.
5.
And will you be in costume? For
Oh
that?
yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah.
And
You'll be Elvis. Will be there.
Yeah, I'll do the young voice. You want to hear?
He's
I can do the young
gonna-
voice.
All right, real quick, young.
When I
voice.
walk through that door, oh baby, be polite. You're gonna make me sore. You don't treat me right. Don't you ever kiss me once or kiss me twice. I'm dreaming of it. There you go.
Elvis has left the building.
Yes.
Bye.
Elvis is leaving the room. Has left the building.
Awesome.
All right.
Saturday, 5 p.m. on my show, we're gonna have
The
Joe.
hour of shameful self.
Shameless self-promotion.
Yes.
No, it's
Yep.
shameless. There's no shame.
Okay,
at
we need to
all.
move that away now. You got you a couple of that. I thought there
I
was a
think
clean
I
cup
better
at
get
the
on
end. That's why I didn't give you one.
We're going to
No.
take off, John.
All right,
Drink from
It's
this
It's
one.
always
Thank you
good
very
to drop
much.
in on. Oh, there's Ralph.
come on in,
There,
Ralph. We're just
Ralph.
clearing. We're just clearing
You
out
on
some.
this chair rather
Let
than
me shift with you,
negotiate.
get ready to leave.
Sure.
We're just clearing out some seats.
Do you have DVDs available?
Can
of
you
your
get
shows?
Ralph a cup, please?
Sure.
Okay,
Well,
and a
I
saucer.
can't, I can't say that over the air.
Oh,
You can't.
It would be commercial. It would be a call to action.
Well,
So
I've
you're
got
just-
your card. I can contact you. I just
Yeah,
didn't know
you can
that you
just
had them.
stumble across them on your own. Hi, everybody.
It's
I've
Ralph.
got some friends in
Yeah, we
Oklahoma
got-
and Kansas that want to see some of your
Yeah.
shows.
Well, also you can watch a lot
can
of
watch a lot on
free
YouTube.
Google Video and YouTube. Yeah.
On YouTube?
Full-
Okay.
Full shows though on
Cool.
Google. Thank
That'll
you.
save me some money.
Somebody else can
Uh,
answer.
yeah.
Well,
Express
is it commercial,
right now.
Ralph, if somebody
There
else
we go.
answers that question for you? If somebody asks a question and you don't ever answer it?
I don't know, John. What?
I
That's
don't
the, that's
think
the
it
one
is.
you want, Ralph.
Well,
right
we
there.
do commercials all the time.
I can't
here.
answer questions about legality, but I can tell you which cup of tea, which pot of tea to drink. and that's
Well,
a
I'll
good
just
one.
go ahead and I'll be bold in that Ralph does in fact have DVDs for sale on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
Okay.
He's very modest about it, and
I even have a $5
Called-
off
called-
coupon there from buying the last Harry Potter book.
Called Rapid
Oh,
Ralph
okay.
Runs the Roads can be found on the list and a lot of other things.
And as I said, I'll be on the L&B show in January sometime. We've already taped the show.
excellent.
Did that pep up the? Were you a shot in the arm to the L&B show? Did
We
you
can hope so. She said it went very well.
did you sing at all or not? Was there?
No,
I was
no
afraid
singing.
of that. Okay,
No
well,
singing.
she missed the best of. I'll tell you what.
Well, it was a show on the Homeless Network.
I understand.
Not on my
I understand, and
musicianship or
and that's-
lack thereof.
and that's a totally valid thing and all, and so we work with that. However, I must say that I really like it when you bring your guitar because you know I really do enjoy it when you come and do some music for us. And so come back soon and do some music, will you?
Well, if we ever get someone
Then I
that's
shouldn't
willing
offer
to
you a
do it,
donut
we
then,
might
eh?
even do some taping for a
No,
show
no,
for
no,
the
thanks
air.
for the thought.
You know, basically do an on-air concert.
Mhm.
It'd be better. Most of the taping you had of me had me looking at you with the camera over there.
Well, that's the way it goes. As you know, we're not scripted, and everything's
Yeah.
just the way
And
it
if
goes
you ever
down.
find those discs, get them to me.
Well, we'll need to work on that. I can find them, but we need to be in touch.
Okay.
You know, call me up and we'll hang out and some stuff like that, and we'll scratch up some discs.
Okay.
I know the Blue People is one that you're on.
Okay.
See, and I know, and I can
Blue
get
People.
the Blue People right, and I can come up with that one. That's the day that we turned everybody blue.
Not even on purpose,
Do you
though it went
remember-
over well.
Do you remember being here?
I remember that one.
Do you remember when Jonathan's parents came? That episode.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Okay, see, and that's the one we turned everybody blue. So we could. I know I can find that one. Other than that, it's like
That's okay,
I've
then
got
just-
over 80 episodes, and it's one of them.
Yeah, one of them. Well, I've been on at least 2 with my guitar.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
think
thing I
one
gotta
with my
say.
12-string and one with my nylon string.
Okay.
I would love to hear that though.
There's one thing I gotta say about music and politics, though, and that is that there's a lot of progressive and anarchist and leftist music out there,
Right.
and the fan base is huge,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't translate into politics because it doesn't get the establishment or even the voter base doesn't take it seriously until you say it. If you sing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's not clear that you think something when you sing it. And so we have somebody like Matt Matan, right? Where would I bring up? Because I can get him out of my farm.
Now, who
but
is Matt?
Matt Matan's a talk show,
Local
absolute
talk show.
host.
Talk show. Okay.
He's a big talk show.
But he's a big Neil Young fan, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's
Listen.
he's a political follower of Neil Young's philosophy.
Oh, is he not?
He's not, no.
Oh, he's conservative.
Libertarian conservative, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he's getting
Matt's
more
not really
conservative. I think he used to be
yeah.
more libertarian. I think he's moving in a conservative direction.
He's sort of,
That
Because
happens to
because
some
all his,
older
almost all his
men.
callers are conservative, so he's naturally over time going to
well, he's sort of
conservative.
conservative, middle of the road.
Well, let me do another unsolicited
Waving the
plug
right
for
line.
Ralph. Many of us
Yes.
don't know that Ralph is a published, in fact, sometimes self-published science fiction author as well as a publisher.
Let me have Moss's cup. I'm going to put it away. Let me-
Moss's Cup.
Did
I
you
don't
already
know
give it
where
to me?
went.
Oh.
It's over there somewhere.
That one there.
Give me the
It's probably
yeah, that
one
one.
there.
Give me
That one right
the
there.
unused cup, the cups that are used,
And I am boogieing.
give me.
Good to see you again.
But the point I want to make is it's not enough for Neil Young to sing it. He's got to say it. He's got to say it too, anyway.
I'm just trying to take the cups off the table that are no longer being.
Okay, that was an unused one at the end of the table, as a
Okay.
matter of
See you soon,
fact.
John, hopefully with a music box.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming.
See ya.
Have a good day. Whoa.
Oh, how much longer you got?
Well, let me see. An hour.
Oh, well, good.
57 minutes
57
of
minutes.
I got time for another
non-stop
cup of tea.
entertainment.
That's right. That's
This tea is robust.
right. Is it good? I mean,
Yeah, it's good.
robust. Does that mean good or just robust?
Robust means robust.
Robust. Is it a little? Is it too strong?
No, it's
Okay.
robust.
Okay. All right.
See, and here's where the joke comes from. The Jackie Gleason show on TV many years ago.
I like Jackie Gleason.
Jackie was known to drink a bit.
Yeah.
And he'd bring out a cup of
You're doing that again.
coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Uh-huh.
And he'd take a sip of it and say, robust.
Okay.
And you could infer that perhaps it was robust.
I see.
So that's what it meant.
He liked his spiked coffee
Made
on
her
live
want to
TV.
pull hers out. Hers is
Robust.
Yours is robust too, isn't it?
Yeah.
She always has her own robust with her.
A robust.
She brings.
Yeah, you know, I've sometimes wondered what is in fact in the tea in question.
Robustness.
Robustness.
It's this jasmine tea that he got me hooked on. Usually it's tea.
Mm-hmm.
It's rarely anything but tea.
Okay. I was teasing a little bit.
I
I'm
know.
assuming that
I
it was
know.
probably
Sometimes
just
says
something
a lot of
besides
people
tea.
wonder what's she drinking in there.
Woohoo!
Because I'm always drinking it, but I just got in the habit of drinking something all the time.
Yeah, well, she's been accused of brown bagging her. There he is. There's Randini himself.
Hey, how you doing?
Mr. This is my band. Come on in. Let's have a
I think Gary.
Yeah.
slide on in, and we'll find some place to put you.
What have I been accused of?
We could put you. Yeah, we get your back pretty good there.
That's okay.
Yeah, your head's right.
Sometimes it's best not
Your
to
head's
know
right in
everything
front of
a
me.
person's been accused
See?
Oh,
of.
that's all right. I can take
Look,
it.
look.
That's
Well, no.
okay.
Okay. Now get on. Well, let's see. Let me see what.
People don't want to.
No,
I'm
flip.
ready for a smart mouth answer.
People don't want to see me tonight.
Sit over on that. On
Why are you just going ahead and assuming something like this?
Because Randy, you're a hunk, and we just had Elvis here, by the way.
Did you? No, because after what I'm fixing to say, nobody's gonna like me.
Oh,
Oh, now I'm really curious. All right, now you have my attention.
Are you saying? I bet you're going to say we're having a bad show.
No. You guys are having a good show that I wanted to be a part of, but I see everybody that I wanted to argue with
You did.
is
Has gone. Oh.
has left.
Oh,
I wanted to argue with the people that were sitting here and they've left. Do you remember I told you I used to be mean and I'm not anymore?
Yeah.
I could have been mean tonight.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
bet you
could
could
have.
be mean.
There. I could have been.
All right,
very
mean boy. Sit here.
But they all left on me.
All right, you wanted to argue with the homeless people?
I did. Because some of the statements they made are ridiculous.
Indeed.
Just ridiculous.
I missed that.
Don't it?
I
Just
caught
ridiculous.
part of it.
Well, give us your
I'm
argument. Give
just-
us your argument. Tell us what they said and give us your argument.
Yeah, well,
I can't even repeat most of what they said
Well,
because
give
I'm
us
so
the
bored mad.
gist. Give us
But
the
the fact
gist,
of the matter
Randy.
is that
this is the kind Randy likes.
the always gonna pour me my tea.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because we're ready to hear what you have to say.
Yes, we are.
The fact of the matter is Moss said that there's like 685 homeless people in Asheville,
Okay.
and that we needed to make sure that as Ashevilleans that they had places to sleep and things to eat and things such as that nature. And the fact of the matter is I'll grant you that maybe 5% of those homeless people might be there because of some odd circumstances and they want to get out of that. But I bet you that the other 95% is just pure. I won't even, they just want to be there. They have no intentions of working. They have no intentions of doing anything productive in life other than begging people for money and just trying to take, pity on everybody else. And the fact of the matter is they need to just get out and get a job.
I think a lot of the homeless people actually prefer
That's
that
it.
type of
That's it.
lifestyle.
So, stop pestering me for money, and then the thing about that is I'll help a person out as much as I can. I think everybody here knows that. But as far as that goes,
Can I see something? I am against helping able-bodied people.
well, I don't
Because
know
I
that
think
they're
it's-
able-bodied because
I
most of them are
actually-
If
stolen
they're
their own drugs
able-bodied,
or
I
on
mean,
alcohol.
to me that seems to be the bottom line. If they're able-bodied,
You know,
if they
I'm
don't have
actually
brain
with that.
damage or they don't have some sort of deep emotional issues, if they're able-bodied, I don't believe you should enable people to stay in the position that they're in. You should not do for people what they should be doing for themselves.
And then he made the comment of
you hand me
him.
that, I'll make more of it.
him yourself, you, and he's getting ready to leave too. Now I ain't gonna be able to argue with him. I swear.
You don't want to argue with me.
I don't. I
You
don't.
know you don't.
Well, I just have to point out that I agree with the not helping able-bodied people because I'm downtown a fair amount, and somebody bums me for change. I always tell them no. Usually, I remember I was walking one guy who was in a wheelchair, and it's just like help out a Vietnam vet or something like that. And I saw the wheelchair, I'm like, all right, throw some change in, something like that, because that changes the situation. I certainly hope he doesn't go home and get out of the wheelchair or something like that.
Right.
But
I seen that in Alabama. There was a guy, we stopped at a McDonald's to eat our lunch, and there was a guy at the intersection of that McDonald's that, no, it wasn't Alabama, it was Mississippi. We just crossed over to Mississippi from Texas. And there was not
can't
Mississippi,
cross
Louisiana,
over to-
not
yeah.
Mississippi, Louisiana. I'll get it right in a minute. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, that was crazy.
it was somewhere else now.
Anyway,
Geographic
the guy was at
area.
the guy was at the intersection.
A thing at the end of the
And he was in a
table,
wheelchair holding a sign
it's in
saying he
the-
needed help.
It's in the blue
Well, some people
pot.
stopped and gave him some money. And we sat in the McDonald's and watched him. Those people left. And as soon as they left, he got up and took the wheelchair and folded it and stuck it in a bush. And he walked across the street to the Exxon station and bought in some alcohol. And got back in his chair, pulled his chair back out, and sat back down and holding his sign back up again.
No, I agree with that.
Now that is
There's
a
lot of scams,
don't
yeah.
you wish you had a video camera kind of moment.
Right.
How you doing?
Yes.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Well, that would be that
You
would
look
be
different
worth
than
that
that, but
would
you
be
got a hat
worth
on,
it.
so that's why.
I mean, I generally ascribe to a philosophy of that you shouldn't bother helping somebody that's in a
If
position
I'm
to
not
help
mistaken,
themselves.
you like hot tea, don't you?
I've lost 12 pounds in the last 2 weeks.
But
That's
John,
very-
It's like-
John had made the comment that because
You have a
the lady that
microwave?
was sitting here stated that that most of the homeless people are alcoholics, and
That's why you
or
should
substance
enable
abuse.
them to stay there.
Yes, and so John made the comment. He said, "Well, how many people that do have homes are alcoholics?" Well, my statement back to that is that those people at least they're keeping their homes. I mean, these people are, and in most cases they're keeping their jobs.
They're functional
Yeah,
alcoholics.
they're functioning in life, so let them be an alcoholic if they want to be. But the guy that's out there on the street who wants to be an alcoholic, don't come bumming money from me.
Because you're helping them stay an alcoholic.
Yeah, so
But they can't afford to go to rehab like other people can.
You don't have to
too
go to
many
rehab.
free
You
places
can
in
go to
Asheville.
AA.
Moss
It's
himself,
free. No,
Moss
you don't.
himself said
No,
there
you
was
don't.
3 places here in
I think
Asheville that was
it's in
free.
Well,
get
that's,
people
have you
rehab?
been through recovery?
Have I?
Yes.
Not yet.
Did you get
Well,
tea from
you
here?
don't really know.
She stays
for
around
sure.
here long enough, she might need it.
Yes.
You don't know for sure. There are plenty
Okay,
of people
great.
who have gone
Okay,
through
great.
and gotten sober without going to rehab. Plenty of
And there's
people.
some people who can't even quit smoking.
Well, I realize that. There's some people who can't quit
But
drinking.
I mean, there's a lot of homeless people that are war veterans. I think it's 1 in 4 homeless war veterans. They may be suffering from things like PTSD.
Well, that's what we
as well
said,
as
that they have to
alcoholism and
be
et cetera, et cetera, right?
able-bodied. If they're suffering from some sort of PTSD or
Well,
emotional thing, that's a
something
different
floating in your
thing.
tea.
We're
Yeah,
talking about able-bodied people who can
But
work.
let me address the PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress syndrome. People say a lot of Vietnam veterans have that. Of course, veterans from many wars. We called it shell shock in World War One, battle fatigue in World War II. It has a lot of different names.
There's donuts
But-
over there too.
I did a lot of research on
I
this.
don't
I've written
know.
books on it. The thing is, like 96, 97% of veterans are just like 96, 97% of people. You know, they function. So you can't say that just because the guy's a Vietnam veteran, he's homeless and he's helpless. There are some Vietnam veterans who are homeless, but for the same reasons that just non-veterans. are
You're a
homeless.
veteran,
Yes.
and you turned out quite well.
Well, thank you.
So,
yeah,
I mean, you
I've
know,
aged well.
and I
Yeah.
think
Put
it's
a
it's
blanket
more
on
mental than
everybody.
anything. I mean, I agree that things can
Everyone's
happen to
individual.
people. I do
Yeah.
agree with that. But I think
Well,
most
but-
of it's a mental issue of, okay, I went through all this, my government should be giving me $50,000 a week, and I deserve that, and yada yada. So since they're not going to,
Well, now,
then I need to just set up and
On the
just wait.
flip side of that, the federal government is far too quick to not take
I have
care of
to-
the veterans.
I have got to call
Absolutely.
BS on something. I mean, when reality gets too far out of proportion, I have to call BS. So I'm calling BS. Now, your statement was they're
Hands
asking
on the
for
table.
$50,000.
It's an exaggerated statement, but what I'm suggesting is
$50,000 a week. Okay, I think that is like so far out of the ballpark
Okay.
Yeah,
that,
flag on the
that
table,
you get one great big BS point.
Well, then, let me see if I can retract that BS point
I
by
think it's
saying
all about
that,
compassion
okay, that's an
at the end of the day,
exaggerating
isn't it?
problem, but the fact of the matter is
By
that
expressing your
veteran-
compassion for your fellow man.
your
Uh-huh.
average veteran, and I don't know this. What does the
We all
average
fall by the
veteran
wayside
make a
We all
month
fall by the
after they've
wayside.
gotten out of the military with honorable
And
discharge?
this
and all that
country's
stuff?
not
What do they-
renowned for looking after
Usually
people.
more than people who didn't go
it's
in
not.
because they got
Yeah,
all that good training.
So this is what, $1,100, $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month. So they're making that. So if they got a job, they're still making that, correct? So if they got a job making about $1,600, $1,700 a month, now they're making about $3,000 a
No,
month.
no,
correct?
wait.
No, you're talking about people who have retired
Retired from the
after
military,
20
yeah.
years.
Yeah, but
That's a
that's
different
totally
story.
different.
Okay.
Totally
Basic
different.
Okay.
health care
So-
and stuff
so-
like that.
so
What's
these
a,
people
what's,
not
what's a
even-
veteran after a
None of
4-year
them-
stint
I don't
in
know.
Vietnam?
Yeah, there
Is
you
he
go.
still
That's
is he
more what
still
I'm
bringing in
Yeah.
money
No,
as
so
a
you're
veteran?
talking
No.
After I'm not talking about.
Once you're discharged, they forget you.
Well, I'm talking about if they are
You can
Well,
if
it
they have
bothers
PTSD or
me
if they're
Yeah.
mentally
Yeah,
ill
it
or
bothers
they're
me in this
or
country.
their legs
It's
been
not
chopped
even
off or
that.
something
We
like
don't
that.
even
Here's
take
the
care of,
fallacy, and what a
children,
lot of
elderly,
people
and
Yeah.
terminally ill.
Exactly.
are saying what's
I mean, you
good
shouldn't have
intent
to go
about
bankrupt
veterans.
because you
If a
broke your leg.
veteran is
I mean,
actually
Really.
has
No,
post-traumatic
and certainly I
syndrome,
think,
or
you know,
any
in the
other
richest country in the
health problem,
world,
he
I
can go
think
to
the
the VA, the
oldest to
Veterans
the youngest, and
Administration
anybody who
Hospital,
a doctor says
and be
if you
taken
don't
care
get
of
this
for
kind of
free.
treatment,
They
you will
have
die. Should, as a moral
drug
parent,
addiction
be taken care of,
programs,
but we don't even go there.
I mean,
AA type
civilized
programs
society,
to,
right?
if
I mean,
you're
I'm not
hooked
even
on
asking.
alcohol.
Is it not true?
So
that
there's no
I don't even
reason for a
demand, you know,
veteran
I should
to
get
stay on
free
the
medical
street.
care, 'cause
There's
I
no
mean,
reason
I'm
for
healthy,
anyone.
I need it,
In
right.
fact, because
Yeah, but
so
But,
many
if you want to
people, so
break
many
your foot or
organizations
something,
offer
why you
help.
don't, you know what I mean?
So that
Then,
a lot of them stay there because they
kind of
want to.
See, I would
And
have
is
to
it or is it
plan
not
to
true
break,
that
you
a
know what I'm saying?
veteran has a much
Broken foot,
easier
no, just give me some painkillers.
has a much easier ability of getting a home than the average citizen does through VA?
Because of the
loans and
VA.
things
No,
like
not
that?
really.
Oh,
You
so
can get
easy for
one
them.
VA loan if you're buying a house, only one during your lifetime, and it saves you maybe 2 or 3 points.
I'm just
on-
saying, is it
on-
easier? Is it easier for them to get a loan when they first come out of the military?
Maybe when they first come out, it's
So,
the
well, the point I'm trying to make is
big
this-
benefit when you first come out is education.
Education.
Yeah,
Right,
so
exactly.
they still have the GI Bill.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
funding.
That's right.
So
And of
there's
course,
no
even
reason
that's
that
probably
they should
been
be on the
modified.
street.
Which
what I'm
is
trying to get
the
at.
reason
Right.
that in the 50s and the early in the 50s, America just took such a quantum leap in prosperity because all of those World War II veterans came back, went to
With
college under the
skills
GI
and
Bill,
went to college.
and turned into educated people
Yeah.
who went into
And
business
the
and
what-
whatever, and it made a humongous difference in our country
Yeah.
and the prosperity level in the country.
And the
So-
ones who didn't go to
Also another
college
World
had
War
their
then.
skills. They became great plumbers and electricians
Oh,
and
I'm
craftspeople.
So isn't that amazing how it made a complete circle that, like I
Yeah.
said a minute ago, that it's all a mindset. A homeless person
Yeah.
is a mindset, and their mindset is that I don't want to work, I don't want to be a member of society, I
I'm
want to have
sorry.
it all
I'm
given
sorry.
to me.
I'm sorry. Can I cut in here?
Sure,
I'm
go ahead.
so sorry. But I mean, just for a normal human being, to have a place over the head is a basic human right to begin with, right? And you shouldn't class these people as non-people like you're doing right now in your speech. No, let me finish, please. Sorry, I'm gonna say this and then leave.
I run her off.
No, you didn't. I've got things to do. But,
I know,
but basically-
and we don't think kindly of people who run her off.
That's my boy. I'll pay you later.
All right.
No, but basically, I mean, I moved here from Denver, Colorado, right? I mean, to move into a home, first of all, right, or an apartment, you have to pay a month's rent, a month's deposit, sometimes last month's rent. That amounts to what, $3,000? And then if you need a phone set up and all this kind of stuff, you're talking a big chunk of money there to get a place to live. Plus, you need a bank account to begin with because they check things like that. They do a credit check. You need references, etc., 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 etc. And to get a job and a bank account, you need an address. So there's a little catch-22. And you're talking about educated people who, my husband moved here from Britain, right? He's American, but he'd been in Britain and Wales for a couple of years, right? Came back here to Denver, Colorado, right? Couldn't get a bank account because he didn't have an address. Couldn't get an address because he didn't have a bank account. And, he didn't have credit. I mean, he had a quote-unquote bad credit score because he didn't have any credit for the last 2-3 years. So the system isn't really helping people
It's all a
getting out of
catch-22.
The homelessness. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's an expensive. So you can't just sit here and say, "Oh, they deserve it."
Well,
all.
what we were
They're
talking
not
about was people
trying,
just got out of the military, and
blah, blah,
technically
blah.
they should have a bank account because they were in the military. They had to, their checks had to go somewhere,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
should
no,
have
before
credit
that,
because
you
they've been in
weren't
the
talking
military.
about the military.
Well,
You were
this
just
time I was talking about the military, though.
alcoholics
People
on
that
the
come out of the
street.
military, and I was talking about how people come out of the military and they choose. Yeah, they choose to. The earlier point that you make a good point because it is a catch-22. It's just like a teenager growing up and trying to get credit. They'll tell them you can't get credit because you don't have credit.
Yeah.
Well, how am I going to get credit if I can't never? How am I going to have credit if I can't never get credit? It's all a catch-22. But just a second ago, I was referring to the people that come out of the military and make a complete circle back around and say, okay, it's a frame of mind that I don't want to be a part of this society as a working part and just do whatever, I guess. That's more what I was referring to because if they're in the military, they should have a bank account, so they should have credit, so to speak.
Well, like I said, I was referencing a point you made earlier. You made kind of a blanket point about alcoholics on the street and why don't they pull themselves up by their bootstraps?
It's hard for
There
them.
are
It's hard
there
for
are
them.
people who
What?
no, there are people who the system that just get a series of hard knocks, the system works against them and they end up in a bad
Yeah,
place.
that's right.
And there are people who you can help to no end and they will never help
That's right.
themselves.
And
That's
the
right.
first people that you talked about, I'd say is only about 5% of the
But this
total.
is a Christian country,
homeless
right?
people.
I heard. I hear it all the time.
I wouldn't
right?
say that
Do
anymore.
unto others as you have
Yeah.
them do.
It might
I
have been
think
30
for all the
years
talk
ago.
of Christianity, I think the talk
I
and the
was
walk
being
are two very
slightly,
different things about this
sarcastic.
country. Two very different things.
But
Okay.
if you're gonna say something, then live it. Live it. So,
Okay, well let me throw
A lot
let me
of
throw
people
in.
do the talk
Okay,
and do not
Oh,
live up to
absolutely
that
not.
you see,
at all.
They have huge bank accounts.
I would be homeless right now if it were not for the kindness of Casey Waters and Judson.
But I'm going to throw
Okay.
something back at you. You're willing to work.
Well, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I also want to explain. What you say is not founded completely in nothingness. There, but I certainly wouldn't want to let a handful of people on the street that come up and panhandle from you, and that some of them who are very annoying and stuff like that, I would not want to let that color your whole concept toward the homeless. And from what you're saying specifically regarding your discussion of ex-military people, I would say that if you don't want to somehow help the homeless, for whatever your reasons, don't help the homeless. And apparently, the least homeless that you would like to help would be one that was an ex-veteran. So don't help any ex-veterans if that's how you feel about it. Just live your beliefs. That's
what I do. I mean, I do help people. I do help people.
I know you do. See,
but here's where I get that from.
So,
I've taken people that has these signs up on the streets that says we
Yeah.
work for food, and I've not just done this once or twice or 3 times. I've done it 5+ times.
I don't give to people with signs on the street.
Well, I've just wanted to help. I felt in my heart that I needed to help.
Right.
I've needed work around the house. I've brought them to my house, and I've said, okay, here, and they come up with a legitimate claim of I'm hungry, I can't work hungry, and I thought, well, that sounds reasonable. And so I feed them,
Right.
and you give them the work, and you go back, and they're gone. Not once, not twice, but I've suckered myself into it more than 5 times.
So rise above it.
And so that just tells me right there that these people, at least those people, had no intention whatsoever, and probably have no intention ever of working.
Well,
Let me tell you what I have heard. I've heard that particular occupation referred to by those who do it as holding sign. You say, and what do you do for a living? And they say, I hold sign. And do you know what they make holding sign? I have spoken with sign holders who have told me that they have taken down as much as $300 in an hour at the right intersection holding sign.
So some of them may not even really be homeless. They may have an
Oh, I was thinking about change. I was thinking about doing it. I couldn't make that kind of money doing anything else I could think of.
There's a lot of things that I think
and it's tax-free. It's tax-free money. I mean, of course, if they catch you, it's not tax-free. But as long as you're not caught,
Because it's a cash job.
Yeah.
It's a cash
Yeah,
job.
absolutely.
Right.
And so you have a nice little apartment somewhere, and
I'm a fool for not holding sign. I tell you what, this is okay.
It
this
sounds
is
like
a tea
I'm a
party.
fool for not
Everybody
holding
go
sign.
home. I'm holding sign.
sounds like I need to be done.
That's what I need to do.
well,
John, why don't you do an experiment and go out and do it and come back and report to the Tea Party?
check
how
out a
it's
video
going?
camera and set that
In fact,
sucker up.
I
Let's
may
see
start a
the results.
business. I may start a business and just hire people to sit and hold signs for me.
Well, see,
Pay them $100 a day.
if we get Randy to
Not
hold the
anymore,
sign,
no.
I'll video
Not
it.
$100 an hour.
So not a moral issue for you.
If we can get Randy to hold the sign, and if he'll split the money with me, I'll video.
Well, you're gonna have to hide that video camera because
I'll do
it
it,
won't
but
be
I want to
authentic.
put a big old beard and long hair, wig, and just scuffy clothes.
No, just look yourself. Just
Yeah.
look yourself.
You
You're
think
fine.
people still pay me?
Don't put any more into it than the job requires. Just the
think
sign.
people still pay
Make
me
this.
if I went
Get
down
you a
in a
piece of
suit?
cardboard and a crayon or a magic marker and make that sign and
You
stand
know
there.
what we ought to do a test on that. I ought
Yeah,
to go
I
down
agree,
there.
you
I ought to
should.
go in a suit and stand on the streets that says "need money," and see how many people give me money, and then go dressed just like this and say "need money," and then go dressed with long hair and a beard, just matted and just looking all and say "need money," and just see which one of those 3 people get the most money.
Well, they
That's
might
a great.
They might not
that's a-
believe
that's
you.
a great show.
They
Let's
might
say go for it.
They might think you're lying if you're in a suit.
I think the suit would get more money.
You do.
I think so. If I talked to him, if I said I just, my car broke down, I'm from out of town, I need some money to help me get it fixed, I guarantee I'd get more
Oh, I
money in a suit.
immediately disbelieve stories like that.
And also,
And
you
even
should
from
get a
guy in suit,
wheelchair.
even from
Oh
a guy in
yeah,
a suit.
oh yeah. No, if as soon as anybody says my car's broken down or something like that, anybody with a passing through story, I immediately disbelieve.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
but Randy,
I cut,
do the wheelchair story.
I cut
The
you off and I
wheelchair
never let you
trip.
say
If I,
the thing.
if
Did
I could get a hold of a wheelchair, I would.
Oh,
Do you
you
remember
can
what
get a
it was?
wheelchair
No.
anywhere. You can
I'll
get
even
one
put some
cheap
glasses on and sit
eBay.
there and do this.
All
Go
right,
to
my
eBay.
approach towards the thing
Or
is
go to Goodwill.
I have one at my house that you
Do
can
you?
borrow.
We can do that.
A
We can do
what?
we can do the wheelchair
A
one too.
wheelchair.
Let's just do a scientific test here
And
and
I'll-
see
I'll
how
do
much
this,
money
I'll
you
pull
can
my
make
arm
holding
in.
sign.
And I'll sit there like this.
Say you're a homeless veteran.
I was reaching in my pocket to get some money when you.
there have been times. There
Well,
have
you
been
see, it's
times.
working already.
in which I thought somebody was about to panhandle me, and I've just blown up at them.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I do. I holler at them.
Like, no, serious. I just lay into them.
I ask for money back. They
So-
ask for me
so-
for money, and I say,
So in
Have
reality,
you
none
got
of us
some
are
money
any
for
different
me?
here at this table. We don't like panhandlers. We don't like people bothering us.
Okay, now
I don't
just,
like able-bodied people not working.
Oh yeah. Now let's illustrate a difference. I mean, we all know that Dr. Blackwell has hit a series of bad circumstances, and he's pointed out he would be homeless not for Casey Waters' generosity. Rita and I are neighbors, and we had an upstairs neighbor who was given multiple chances by both the landlord and his brother was helping out for a long time, and because he could not control his alcoholism, he ended up out on the street.
Right.
He would not control it. He would not do it.
Right.
He refused to. And so landlord just kicked him out. And I mean, there it is. You can't save
But
everyone.
his brother paid his rent for years.
Yeah.
The full amount.
Yeah.
And then his brother asked him to pay half of his rent. And he went kind of really berserk because it was going to interfere with his alcohol money.
Oh, yeah.
So his brother just stopped paying his rent, and that was
So
it.
now we have
I've got
686
to run, but
people.
I've
in the
enjoyed
street.
that.
Moss said 685, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Professor comes tomorrow.
All right, bring it and show it to
But
us.
I
Do
did
us a
have
show
one
and tell.
experience a few years ago.
Always good to see you, Ralph.
Good seeing you.
Nice to meet
I didn't mean
you.
to cause a
How
stare.
much did
You want to
do?
bring your cup and come over here and join and get Ralph's spot?
Yeah, you can scoot down if you like.
Yeah, Randy.
Oh, okay.
It don't matter to me how
Yeah,
we
both
do
y'all
it.
can scoot as far down this way
Good
as
evening,
you
Ralph.
can.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
think-
Ralph,
I think
for
the
dropping
general
by. We'd love to
consensus
have you every
We're
time.
not too.
All right, my
Fond
mean
of the
spell's over
homeless
for the
people.
time being.
Yeah, you are mean. I'll tell you.
I mean,
No.
yeah, because I can in every way conceive how a bad series of circumstances can leave somebody completely screwed. And
Well-
the system does, in a lot of ways, work against you. There's too much bureaucracy that can also work against a person just trying to live their life. So in every conceivable way, a person can end up in a bad sort of position. But, fact of the matter is, all the people downtown in Lexington Avenue who are bugging the hell out of people, I don't think any of these people have it fit that description.
Pass this down there and put it on the book by the alien head if you
Here's
would.
the thing.
It's
is,
hot.
That
Yeah,
is
it
hot.
is hot.
My goodness. Here's the thing.
Put it on the book if you would.
Put it on the book.
Yeah, okay. Now, wait a minute.
Since you've brought it up, that your situation, I'm gonna not go into bit detail, but I'm just gonna say that you're one of those people that's in a catch-22 for real. You're in a
Yeah.
catch-22 because your circumstances.
Mhm.
And
And how many of me do you think there are out there? I think there's a lot of me
I just
out
don't-
there.